Hello everybody, hope you're having a great day. Well, take a look at this. This is a simple tater tot recipe. Do you like tater tots? They're really delicious, and this is a cheesy tater tot bake. Look at that. And it turned out so well, I wanted to share it with you. Let me show you how to make it. Well, of course, you're going to need some tater tots. These are just the simple tater tots you can buy at any grocery store. And when you open the bag, and what you want to do is get the dish you want to serve it in, so you know how many tater tots to put in the dish. And so I'm just using the dish like a measuring cup, a measuring device. And so that's how many tater tots I'm going to put in here, the amount I want when I serve the dish. And so I can't tell you exactly how many. It depends on what size dish you want to use and how much you want. So once you get that figured out, then you just put the tater tots onto a baking tray. And so I'm going to be baking this in my little countertop oven, my New Wave oven. So you spread them out just like the directions tell you. You just want a single layer. And then you take them and put them in the oven. And I'm going to set this to bake for, I don't know. You really watch it. You go by the directions. I'm going to do it for 25 minutes. And then look and see if the tops are nice and golden. I want to get them nice and crisp. And so while that's baking, we're going to put together the cheesy goodness. And you start with 1 cup of milk in a small saucepan, and we want to get some heat going. Okay? And then I'm going to be using some French onion dip, the kind you use for chips. And I'm going to put about, I don't know, I guess you'd call that about 1/4 of a cup. Just a big ladle full of the dip. Put that in the milk. And while that's warming up, I'm going to get some chicken powdered bouillon and put about a teaspoon. As you can see, I didn't measure it. I just sprinkled it in. And then some coarse ground pepper, about 1/4 teaspoon. And then some garlic powder, and about a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. And all of these can be adjusted to your own personal taste. All right. And we'll let that warm up, and I'll stir it. And the dip will melt. And once it gets nice and steamy hot, we're going to add some cornstarch. I've got about 1.5 tablespoons of milk in a small container, and I'm going to use a nice generous tablespoon of cornstarch. And we're using this for a thickener to just thicken up the mixture a little bit. So you stir it up like this and make sure you get that well combined. We're going to add this cold slurry, that's what you call it, into the hot milk in the pan. And so we're waiting for that to get nice and steamy, but you want to keep stirring it. You certainly don't want the milk to scald. All right, we'll just keep mixing that up. Now the milk is steaming. Can you see the steam coming off? And I give that slurry another mix, and now it's time to add that into the saucepan, and in it goes. And again, that's just to help thicken it a little. Now we're going to add some cheese, delicious mozzarella cheese. We're not going to add too much at this stage. We're just going to put a little in this nice warm milk and let that melt. You want to just sprinkle a little bit in. I didn't measure it. You can see how much I'm putting in, just a little bit. And once that kind of gets melted, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing again and put just a little bit more. Now we don't want a whole lot. Mozzarella doesn't melt all that good, really. It melts, but it stays, well, you'll see when you do it. All right, you see that's gotten thickened. That's just right. Now we're waiting for the potatoes, the tater tots, to get nice and golden. Once they're golden brown, we're going to transfer them back into the serving dish. They're nice and hot, nice and crisp, at least on the top side, and that's just what I want. Want a nice combination of crisp and gooey and cheesy and flavorful. That French onion dip adds a wonderful flavor. Put about half of them in the serving dish like this. That one kind of jumped out. We'll put that in. And then we're going to add a little more mozzarella cheese. And that's entirely up to you how much cheese. And you could use a different kind of cheese if you like. And once that's covered with a thin layer of mozzarella cheese, we're going to put the remainder of the tater tots right on top. Just like that. And next we're going to put that sauce, that delicious, thick, creamy, cheesy, delicious sauce. And you just pour that on. Once you put that on, one more layer of mozzarella cheese. So what I said, this is a cheesy tater tot bake. Very flavorful. And we'll give that a nice little coating. How much? Well, it depends on how much you like. It's entirely up to you. And once we get the cheese on like that, we're going to take it back to the toaster oven. Now this dish isn't warm yet. Put it in the toaster oven and we let it bake, and you just have to watch this. I mean, everything is nice and cooked. You watch it until the cheese gets a nice golden top to it. And that looks just about right. The cheese has melted and turned golden, and now the dish is hot. And that's all there is to it. We'll bring it back to the serving board. I've got a plate set out, and we'll dish this up. And it turned out so well, and it's so flavorful. If you like tater tots and you like cheese, I think you'll like this. I think I'll also serve it with some ham. And how about some ham and deviled eggs? Whatever you happen to have. Take a look. Now that is good. I hope you try this because it's so flavorful. The cheese and the French onion dip and the spices and the creaminess of the sauce. Oh, it's so good. I think you'll like it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye now.